Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is your severe weather outlook for Friday. Enhanced risk of severe weather in the DFW heading into the ArkLaTex region, and that is highly unusual for this time of year. So let's begin discussing that. As we can see here, an enhanced risk of severe weather exists for Austin, Waco, Dallas, Fort Worth, as well as much of southeastern Oklahoma, portions of southwestern Arkansas, as well as Shreveport, Louisiana. Again, a very large area, including that very heavily populated area of northwestern Texas. And the tornado risk is 10% plus significant. The wind risk is 30%. The hail risk up to 15%. Again, as I mentioned, that tornado concern is mainly from DFW to the ArkLaTex, as well as a line of severe wind in the evening beginning to develop. So the storms are going to consolidate into a line from southern Missouri and Arkansas down to Louisiana and Texas. And then a nighttime QLCS tornadoes could occur as a result from that line. And remember, those are extremely dangerous because they're in the evening. As we can see here, here is the tornado threat. The tornado threat is at 10% at the moment, with significant tornadoes possible from Austin all the way up to the north into portions of southeastern Oklahoma, where we could see significant tornadoes. Again, that's basically the I-35 corridor, and everywhere to the east of that, especially in the Texas-Oklahoma border area, is where we're watching this most especially right now. Again, significant impacts could occur not only from tornadoes, but also from wind. Wind will be concerned 30% across much the entire enhanced area mentioned earlier. And as I mentioned, those discrete storms will become linear with time, increasing that wind threat. Early on in the evolution of this system, there will be a hail threat as these storms are discrete. Again, earlier in the day, 15% chance of hail. Again, that goes as far north as possibly Tulsa and as far south as San Antonio and Corpus Christi, including areas like Houston. So again, we could see significant impacts to all severe hazards at this point in time. Here is the odds of a tornado within 40 kilometers of a given point on a grid here. As we can see in the center of that grid, about the center of that enhanced risk, and in between Dallas and ArkLaTex region is going to be about 10 to 15% chance of seeing a tornado within that region. The projected radar is also on there, and so you can kind of see what we could possibly expect come tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, 5 to 9 p.m. Central Time. Here are all probabilities from Colorado State University. As we can see here, again, the biggest chance of tornado risk, that's going to be that upper left-hand corner, is 10%, and that maxes out actually around 14% according to the image there, and that's in the ArkLaTex region where they're expecting the largest tornado probabilities. Hail and wind also expected as well. Again, it's expecting a little more to the north than the Storm Prediction Center is projecting at this point in time, and I'm going to side with the Storm Prediction Center for now. Again, highlighting that area mainly. Again, I'm going to repeat this, between I-35 and probably somewhere in Arkansas and Louisiana. So basically, if you're to the west of I-35, you're good. Your storm chances are today, especially in Oklahoma. That's those tracks you see up in northwestern Oklahoma today. Central Oklahoma can still see stuff into tomorrow. And then as we move on with time, portions of southeastern Oklahoma as well as northeastern Texas need to be watching this very carefully tomorrow. And as I mentioned, and as you can see by these updraft tracks, we can see significant impacts in these areas. Here's the projected radar beginning at this point is around 4 or 5 o'clock, and then it moves on with time into the evening, becoming a line of storms. Now, that line of storms is not going to be like the end-all, be-all line of severe wind. There's just not much in the atmosphere this time of year. But this early part around here, when the radar is right there, is when things are really going to peak, and because we have both discrete and line cells, as we can see here. So I'm going to zoom in on two locations. One is going to be between Lawton and Oklahoma City, and the other will be between Dallas and Texarkana. And those two are the main areas I would consider watching um, today or tomorrow. Rather, mainly we want to watch that second area, that second red star there. I think, and again, all the models have said this that I've shown you so far. That area, that general area in northeastern Texas, southwestern Oklahoma, is the key, like, main spot that tornadoes would be expected, severe wind would be expected, perhaps even hail as well. So here's the sounding at 4 p.m. Central Time between Lawton and Oklahoma City. As you can see, nothing too impressive, not off the charts tornado, but we do see a lot of shear with height. The winds, looking at the graph here, and forgive me, I'm going to look away because my cursor, over here, it's very low winds at low height, and then we move up, and that's 70 knots of shear. It's going in the same direction, but it's significant in terms of that change, and so wind is going to be a huge concern. Now, the difference you're going to see now between Dallas and Texarkana is that it continues to increase with height, but it also changes direction, and with that change in direction and change in wind speed, that's two different types of shear. Tornadoes are going to be more likely with this outcome here. It's still not amazing. There's enough energy in the atmosphere for it. There's not a whole lot inhibiting it. There's not the best instability. Shear numbers could be a bit higher than for a larger tornado outbreak type thing. But again, I really, really want to stress between DFW, I-35 corridor, all throughout northeastern Texas and southeastern Oklahoma, to the ArkLaTex region, really needs to be watching this very closely. And even areas outside that, severe weather is kind of uncommon this time of year. We're in November now. So we just need to continue to monitor that. If you're in the Norman area, of course, you can sign up for text alerts by texting @StudentWX to 81010. That's all for now. Chris Dixon and for their Catholic Media.